What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? Today we are going to talk about the top altcoins to buy to get rich in 2024. It's going to be awesome. Crypto Capstone, glad you're back. Good to see you again. Let me know if the audio and the picture and everything's okay. I think my last stream, it was skipping around a little bit as far as video quality. So go ahead and get started here. Before we jump into the altcoin list, I kind of wanted to just go over a couple small, well, they're not small in the real world aspects, but small news articles of stuff that's kind of happening, you know, today and tomorrow and right now. Let me see here. Let me pull up the website real quick. So first one, I just wanted to kind of go over. I thought this was pretty bullish and pretty cool. The UK Law Commission seeks to classify cryptocurrencies as a property in new draft bill. So the bill hasn't been approved yet, but on Thursday, UK legislation could see cryptocurrencies officially classified as a new form of property, establishing greater legal certainty around digital assets at large. The Law Commission of England launched a consultation exercise on its proposed legislation, which is designed to clarify a position in the courts that have increasingly moved towards. It expects responses within a month. So, great news that, you know, in the UK, cryptocurrencies in general could be classified as a property and therefore not labeled as a security. And, you know, hopefully other countries will follow suit after that, including the US, who has been, you know, pretty bearish on crypto the last few years at least. So I just thought that was interesting to look at. Another thing was BlackRock is actually holding a summit for digital assets tomorrow. And, you know, if you would have asked anybody, you know, 4 years ago if BlackRock was going to be, you know, bullish on cryptocurrency, I know they only have, you know, an ETF for Bitcoin at this point, but Ethereum is in the pipeline, I believe, and I think that's almost a for sure thing. Just the fact that they're holding a summit to try and, you know, move people into the digital asset realm is extremely bullish. And, you know, they're the biggest asset managers on the planet. So, you know, they have a huge influence over the traditional finance and, you know, investors in general. So I think that this is great news, and I think it's just going to continue to snowball as we move forward. This is just the beginning. The ETFs were just approved, you know, a few weeks ago. So I think we're looking at very good times. It seems like everything's kind of falling into place, so to say, and kind of setting us up for what is going to be, in my opinion, a massive bull run. You know, starting this year, you know, usually about 6 months after the halving, give or take, we start seeing highly increased, you know, price action. So the halving's only in 2 months, so we're looking at, you know, roughly 8 months. And even in between there, you know, prices are going to start to go up. I think we're going to have one more correction closer to the halving. How big that correction is going to be, I have no idea. With all the institutions, you know, now in or on their way in, I don't know if we're going to see, you know, 50, 60% correction like we have in the past. Is it possible? Of course it's possible. But I will just be buying more during that time, you know, increasing my positions if we do get that and when we do get that. So, nonetheless, it's nice to see. I guess it's a double-edged sword because you don't want, you know, a company like BlackRock to own the vast majority of Bitcoin, but we also need companies like this to come in order to pump our bags, basically, because they are going to bring in trillions of dollars, and I, for one, like making money, so, you know, short term, I have no issues with them coming in. I have no issues with them investing. I have no issues with them persuading and allowing their, you know, their investors to allocate a percentage to Bitcoin and then Ethereum, I think, in the near future. So, good to see. This article as well, this is I think it was last week, but it shows, I made a dedicated video on this the other day, but I just wanted to run through it on here real quick, that 10 times the amount of Bitcoin, let me rephrase that, there's 10 times more Bitcoin being bought up right now by institutions than there are being mined on a daily basis. So just imagine the supply shock that we are in store for in the near future, because institutions have just started buying. There is still a lot, and I mean a lot, more buying to go from them. So, just to run through this quick math, where is it? So according to preliminary figures, at least 493.4 million, or roughly 10,280 Bitcoin, flowed into Bitcoin ETFs on February 12th. So a half, what is that, a $500 million. This is just one day on February 12th flowed into Bitcoin. BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust saw the lion's share with a massive 374.7 million flowing in. Meanwhile, Fidelity, ARK, all those, I'm not going to read them all off, had big inflows as well, but not quite as much. On the same day, Bitcoin miners produced just 1,059 Bitcoin, roughly worth 51 million, according to blockchain.com, which is just 10% of the amount of Bitcoin being hoovered up by spot ETFs. So the amount of Bitcoin, we all knew this was going to happen eventually. It was just a matter of time because of the capped supply and the scarcity of it. So that's just one day. Obviously, this isn't going to, you know, this amount may not happen every single day from here on out, but if the trend in general continues, you know, the supply shock is going to be astronomical at some point. And there's only one way for the price to go, and that's up. So this is the one reason why I'm still holding on to some Bitcoin right now. I like to take bigger risks in general with the, you know, the amount of money that I'm putting into the market, because the gains and the amount of X's you can make are far higher on smaller capped coins, though it's riskier. It's a risk to reward ratio, and you know, if you're putting all your money into just Bitcoin, you can expect, you know, potentially a 3 to 4x whereas you can make, you know, upwards of 100x with some of these smaller coins. But the sheer fact that we are already seeing this early in the approvals, where there is more Bitcoin being bought up than there is coming into the market on a daily basis, I don't want to be that person that's left out, you know, not holding any Bitcoin. I know some people are going to sell at certain prices. It may not, you know, there's always cycles of sellers and buyers. So I'm not sure we're going to hit an actual point where there literally is just none out there. You know, maybe we do, I don't know. But I don't want to have to, you know, be that person when, and if that does happen, that I don't have any and I can't get any. So that's why 15% of my portfolio is still in Bitcoin, and it's going to stay that way as far as the amount that I have. You know, the percentages might go up and down with everything else moving in prices, but the amount that I have is the amount that I'm going to keep throughout this bull run. And I plan on buying more. I want to have a solid amount of Bitcoin moving forward, you know, come next bear market, where if everything else goes to zero, I feel like Bitcoin is that one project that is not going to go to zero and that is going to continue to rise in price over time. And so I do want to have a solid portion, a solid amount of Bitcoin moving forward, just in case. And just so you don't miss out on what Bitcoin is and what it's going to be in the future. So, that being said, just those 3 little articles is what I wanted to touch on. We'll go over here and look at the kaspa chart real quick. It's not too exciting, since, as everyone may know by now, kaspa is my favorite project. #1 holding going into the next bull run. We're down a little bit today as of yesterday, but not all that much. We're just sitting right underneath 17 cents. Still up massively from, you know, where we were a few weeks ago. So we're not going to stare at this chart for too long. I think, if I were to guess, we've just got some, you know, maybe early miners, early buyers, you know, selling a little bit. Exchanges is what I think was buying that bulk amount where we got these huge green candles. They may have taken a break. Maybe they filled all their bags. I don't think they have. Whoever was buying, I don't think is done. I think they're just taking a breather, waiting to see if the price will come back down a little bit from sellers taking profit, and then they're going to go in heavy again. That's just my opinion. I think, you know, within the next few weeks, we could see another all-time high. And the only real big pullback from here on out with kaspa, I think, would only happen is if Bitcoin and the whole market pulls back. Like I mentioned earlier, around the halving, like we usually have, you know, some pretty heavy pullback right around the halving. And I think that that's the only thing that's going to allow kaspa to actually retrace, you know, potentially back to this $14 range. And I don't know that we're going to see it go back to the 10 cent range, or did I say $14? I meant 14 cent range. I don't think we're ever going to see it go back to the 10 cent range. If we do, I will be extremely happy because I'm going all in at that point. I guess it is possible if Bitcoin has a big enough pullback towards the halving, we could see it go, you know, back down that low. Potentially, I think the chances of that are a little lower at this point now that we've already, you know, hit almost the 19 cent range. So make sure you're buying kaspa. I'm going to say that a lot. You're going to hear that a lot. We're still early, and if you are not comfortable with the amount that you have, keep DCAing, keep buying. it's going to rip once tier 1 exchanges start listing. So I'm going to mention that a lot. So I hope you don't get tired of hearing it. I hope it doesn't fall on deaf ears either, because it's going to rip at some point. So let's move into these are my top altcoins in 4 different categories that I am buying at this point. Full disclosure, I do not own every single one of these. I have owned some of them in the past, and I've sold them for probably kaspa, if I were to take a guess, because I get FOMO when I don't feel like I have enough, and then I hit the new level that I wanted to reach, and then I again feel like I don't have enough again. So my levels just keep going up and up and up. So we'll jump into that. Crypto capstone, yeah, prediction. I think my prediction, I always like to say $4. And then I'm starting to think that we might be able to go a little higher than that. Because when you actually look at the project, it's the first of its kind. So I almost think of it like Bitcoin was the first of its kind, right? It was the first digital asset, the first cryptocurrency. Ethereum was the first of its kind, where it allowed smart contracts. It created smart contracts, and it was the first project that enabled that to happen on top of its blockchain. Now, kaspa is not even a blockchain. It's the first block DAG. So when you think of Bitcoin being the first of its kind, it's ranked #1 in market cap. Ethereum being the second, or the first of its kind, sorry, in implementing smart contracts, and it's sitting #2 in market cap. It only makes me wonder if kaspa, being the first of its kind, being a block DAG and solving the trilemma, is going to inch its way up and cement itself at #3 in market cap over time. Will that happen this bull run? I don't know. I have no idea. Do I think that it's going to make top 3 eventually? Yes, I do. I'm actually very confident in that. I think this bull run, you know, I think we make it inside the top 10 easily. And I think that there's actually a solid chance that we make it inside the top 5. So with the price prediction, yeah, $4 to $7.50. I kind of agree with that price target. I would love to see it go higher. I'm just cautious because I don't want to hype people up too much. You know what I mean? And then it doesn't happen, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, you said it was going to go to $40, and it didn't." And then, you know, everybody's mad at you. I think realistically, seeing a $4 kaspa is very possible, and I would be happy at that point. Now, it's all going to be based on time, you know, where we are in the cycle as well, because if we get to December of this year and kaspa's already at $4, then, you know, I would say the ceiling is much higher at that point, because we've still got the whole year of 2025. Now, if we get to the end of 2024 and for some reason kaspa has, you know, retraced and is sitting at 11 cents, then I'm going to be a little worried about the price. And then maybe, you know, you start looking at the $1 to $3 range or something potentially. You know, it all kind of depends on where we are in the market. If kaspa's sitting at, you know, $1 or $2, at the end of the year, then I think we also could hit a higher price potentially than the $4 mark. So it kind of just depends on where we are in the cycle, what the price is during that time of the cycle or at that time of the cycle, and then we're going to kind of play it by ear. I will be here to let you guys know what I'm doing. And you know, we can kind of take this journey together in a sense and kind of help each other out. I may end up in the near future starting a Discord as well, so that we can kind of have everybody in one spot 24/7, where we can just, you know, talk and run things by each other, help each other out, kind of, you know, kind of just have a open form of communication, you know, 24/7. I think that would be good. But anyways, so let me get into the projects here. I'm gonna lay them all out here so you guys can just see them all at one time. I'm not gonna cover them up and, you know, uncover them one at a time like some people do. So my number one most bullish narrative and category is going to be layer ones. They've historically done the best, and they've historically been your best risk to reward, because they are kind of like the platform where things build on. So I kind of think of it like a mall, and, you know, the layer one is the mall, and the dApps that are built on top of the layer one are kind of the stores inside the mall and facilitate the traffic through. But the mall takes, you know, the mall probably takes a percentage, or the stores just pay them to set up shop inside the mall for the real estate. So my biggest holdings are in layer ones. Everybody knows by now that kaspa is my top, you know, project overall. It's obviously my top layer one in that scenario as well. And yes, it is my biggest bag too, crypto capstone. And it's not even close. I think it's 40 or 50% of my holdings. Bitcoin comes at number 2 at like 15 or 14%. So it's not even close as far as where we're, you know, percentage-wise. So the Tensor Tau is an excellent project. I do not own the project. I wish I did own the project. I knew about it way back in the day when it was, you know, probably like, I don't know what, I think it was a 100% fair launched project as well. I could be wrong about that, but I knew about it when it was like $10 or $15. And I didn't buy it, and I'm kind of, you know, it's kind of one of those that I'm looking back on with, you know, a little bit of disappointment, where I'm like, I should have bought the Tensor Tau, because it's got great tokenomics. It's a layer one, which obviously is my, you know, most bullish category, and it should have been something looking at everything that it offers and checking out. It checks all the boxes of what I look for in a project, and for some reason I just didn't buy it. So now the market cap is super high, and it's expensive, and I just don't see me starting to accumulate now, when kaspa, in my opinion, is better, and it's also a proof of work, fairly launched, 100% fair launch project. And it just makes more sense for me at this point to just keep DCAing into kaspa, because my gains are going to compound that way, and that's just where I'm, where I feel more comfortable putting my money at this point. I missed out on Tau, and I'm probably not going to enter into a buy on that project throughout this bull run unless, something unforeseen happens. So that's one of the projects that I really wish I would have bought when I first found it. Didn't buy it. No big deal. I'm not gonna cry about it. So we're just gonna have to cut our losses on that one. If you do own it, congratulations. I would recommend, if you've got a pretty good amount of holding, I would recommend probably just to keep, DCAing into that if that's your thing as well. So third on the list is Solana. I have a special place in my heart for Solana. I know a lot of people hate the project. I know that it, goes down all the time, stops working for periods of time. I don't care. Because if you look at the on-chain metrics, obviously other people don't care either. The ecosystem is massive. They've continued to build drastically. There is a massive amount of developers, and every single on-chain metrics will tell you that this project is a success. And I think by the end of this bull run, it's going to be sitting at number 3. I don't think kaspa is going to get to the number 3 position this bull run. Like I said, I think it can. I don't think it will. I think it's going to make its way into the top 3, probably in the bull run, in the next bull run. 2029 is when I think that kaspa could potentially make its way into the top 3. Solana, I think this is its bull run. It had a massive run last bull run, and I jumped on the train a little bit too late last bull run, but I started using Solana, and that's when I really started liking it. It's very smooth, it's very fast, and it's very cheap. The user interface is incredible compared to what I was using before in Ethereum. And it was slow, it was clunky, and every time I made a transaction, it was, 10% or $30 in fees, 40, 50. When you go into the bull run, it's 150, sometimes in the thousands worth of fees just to make a transaction. So I was looking for something else. Solana caught my eye, and that is a much better option, in my opinion. I think retail coming into the market this bull run are not going to use Ethereum. I think Ethereum's still going to do well. I think the people who have used it and like it and are already using it might stay and at least, use it part of the time. But unless you're moving huge sums of money where the transaction fee doesn't really affect you, then Solana is going to be the blockchain that a lot of new people are going to come in to the crypto market this bull run and automatically start using Solana. That's just my opinion, but the on-chain metrics actually tell that story, with NFTs and developer growth and you name it. TVL is lacking, I think, a little bit, but I think that that's going to grow, moving forward for the rest of this year and into next year. So those are my top 3 layer 1s. I'm only invested into 2 of them, and next up is layer 2s. My second most bullish narrative. Especially because I think a lot of projects like Ethereum out there are going to struggle. They are struggling with, fees like we talked about and scaling. And there's just not a lot of potential moving forward for a blockchain like Ethereum, unless they can really get things under control. Technology is going to start moving faster and faster. New blockchains are going to come out, and they are going to get better and better, faster, cheaper, better user interfaces, and Ethereum's going to get left behind if these layer 2s do not catch on. I think that that's the only thing that can save Ethereum at this point, and I still don't even know if that's enough to save Ethereum long term. So Neon EVM is by far my top investment in layer 2s. If you don't know what it is a layer 2 solution actually on the Solana blockchain that allows developers from Ethereum blockchain to develop and use Solana scalability. I can't even begin to mention how bullish this narrative is, because what that's going to do is allow Ethereum developers to develop on top of Solana and get the scalability from Solana while using the same code that they're already used to using while they're developing on Ethereum. So, my opinion, this project, you've got Ethereum's Ethereum's founder, and he might be a developer as well, Anatoly Yakovinsky, or whatever his last name is. I can't even say his name. But he has even praised Neon EVM's technology as far as what it can do and what it is going to do for cross-chain developing in the future. So the fact that he has mentioned it is bullish as well. So I have the majority of my layer 2 holding in Neon EVM, and it's a project that I definitely recommend buying. It's actually on it got listed on crypto.com, and it's had a pullback since then after it ran all the way up to $4, and I think that this is a very good buying level for Neon. So if you don't have any, to start purchasing Neon at these prices, I think is a good buy at $1.19, $1.20. So, Mint Layer, number 2. Mint Layer is a layer 2 on top of the Bitcoin ecosystem. And I think that this is going to be a huge narrative in the upcoming bull run. I think anything built on top of Bitcoin, since it's going to be their first cycle, is going to be very bullish, and Bitcoin in general is very bullish. So I think Mint Layer, being a smaller market cap, kind of following in the footsteps of Ordi, which has absolutely gone ridiculous in price and market cap, so much so that I'm not interested in buying it at current market caps and prices. I think Mint Layer has a good chance of following in those footsteps and replicating what Ordi or Ordinals has done before it. So getting into a project like this that could potentially, follow suit at a lower market cap, I think is a very good buy. The prices right now are still a decent buy for this project. I think it's going to do very well in the upcoming bull run. So Arbitrum is my third. I did own Arbitrum. I actually sold it for kaspa. So I still like the project. I think it's going to be one of the top layer 2s on Ethereum. I might actually buy back into Arbitrum at some point. The price is kind of running right now for my previous buy-in that I had from it. So we'll see. If we get a decent pullback, I might actually buy in again, because I do like the project. And I want to get an Ethereum layer 2. Neon is kind of, you know, you could technically say it's an Ethereum layer 2 because the developers from Ethereum can build on it, but it's built on the Solana ecosystem. So I don't know if you can technically consider it an ETH layer 2. So I do want to have one of those in my portfolio. Gaming next. GFAL is my top holding when it comes to gaming. The team is the main reason for that. Trip Hawkins is the CEO of EA Sports, and that's one of the biggest gaming companies in the real, you know, Web 2 world. All the sports games, you know the saying EA Sports, it's in the game. You know, it's said before. Right when you turn the game on, whenever anybody who plays sports games, sports video games. So having him as the lead for this project is extremely bullish. And I fully expect that he is going to make sure that his project is going to be successful. So still a pretty low market cap too. I think it's extremely undervalued at the current market cap and price. So Hello Token, number 2. I also like the founder of this as well. He's got ties to the I'm drawing a blank here, to the movies, entertainment world, Hollywood. So what they're doing is they just launched actually their TV show and Killer Whales, and they're expecting to have a season 2 as well, and probably, you know, more seasons. They're expecting to in the roadmap have more TV series and also get into gaming. So I consider it a gaming / entertainment type play, and very bullish on it. They had the Buy the Rumor, Sell the News event when season 1 launched, Killer Whales, and the token price has come back down. I think it's in an excellent buying window right now. So if you don't have some, I would recommend grabbing some. Octa token is my 3rd in gaming. It's built on Solana, and it reminds me of PlayZap. It's just web, you know, real quick, easy, addicting, you know, mobile games is what it is. I haven't played any of the games, but they have excellent reviews. There's over 1 million downloads already in Play Store. So very bullish on that game. I think it's going to do very well. It's also got 2 phases of play to earn, so you can earn money in 2 different ways. I'm not going to go into all the specific details of it and bore people, but just some bullet points there. So next narrative, we can talk about this right now because AI is absolutely mooning AI projects. If anybody's in them right now, congratulations, because they are making a lot of people a lot of money right now. Open Fabric is actually my favorite. It's a layer 1. It's its own blockchain, which is why I like it. Plus, it checks all the other boxes. The circulation right now is pretty low, so there's going to be some unlocks. The one thing I don't really like about it, the tokenomics aren't the greatest, but you know, most crypto projects don't have the greatest tokenomics. So Solidus AI, I don't own this project at this point. I sold it actually for Open Fabric. So Solidus, I'm still really bullish on it. I like their narrative. I think it's AI energy company somewhere in Germany, I think, where they're having issues with the power grid, and they're using AI to solve or try and solve that energy crisis and energy issues that they're having over there. So I like the narrative a lot. Third project that I really like in the AI narrative is Nosana. So I know a lot of you have heard of Render, which is GPU computing for big companies and stuff like that. Nosana is doing the exact same thing. It's built on the Solana blockchain. Again, I'm bullish on the Solana blockchain projects this bull run. I think they're going to do very well. I think they're going to do what ETH projects did last cycle, and make a lot of people a lot of money. So Nosana is basically the exact same thing. I think Nosana actually is able to hold even more data than Render even is. So it's gonna, I think, follow in the footsteps of Render and come out as a very, very profitable project come the end of the bull run. So those are my top projects in these different narratives. I have more projects than this in my portfolio. I don't own some of them because you got to keep in mind when you are building a portfolio, you want to make sure that you don't over diversify, especially if your sum of money that you're investing is not a whole lot. When you over diversify, you're just putting a little bit of money into a lot of different projects. Some of them will do very well, of course, some of them might not. But the amount of gains that you can get on a project with a small amount of money is obviously not as much as that you would get on a project with a larger amount of money invested into it. So I kind of like to pick certain winners in certain narratives and not over diversify in those narratives, so that the projects that I hold have a bigger sum of money invested in them, which will result in bigger returns in the long run, come the end of the bull market. So that's my theory. That's my investing strategy. I did want to go over a few more projects. Subscriber, shout out again to Crypto Capstone. Wanted me to look at a few projects and just give my opinion on them. Let me turn this off. So we're gonna go and take a look at, first one was Mavia. It's a newer gaming coin, and I don't personally own it right now. I have looked into it. It's probably not a project that I am gonna buy, because like I said, I don't want to get too over diversified in certain things. It checks all the boxes. It's actually a good investment. I wouldn't shy away from it. It's just not something I'm gonna buy. The chart, let me pull it up real quick, looks really good. There's no denying that. The all-time chart looks really good. This is a very healthy looking chart. So it's something that I would recommend if that's something you want to buy. It's not something that I would consider a bad investment. The one thing that gets me on this project that I found while I was looking at it, if you go to the website and you, where is it? You go to the download the game. We're just going to look at, close that up because I'm not actually going to download it, but if you go to the Google Play Store, 3.9 stars is not the greatest. It does have a lot of downloads though, and some of the reviews were not that great. It was basically all the stuff that they accumulated in the gameplay, rewards and whatever else you're able to accumulate, were not actually given to them. Like, it was completely taken away. And I don't know if it's a glitch in the system but some of these people that were leaving comments were saying that they were playing the game for, you know, quite a while, and they were accumulating you know, certain assets and certain coins or whatever you accumulate, and then they just disappeared. And they're trying to reach out to the company, and I don't know, you know, what the result was in that scenario, but you know, playing a lot of hours of this game and then, you know, being all excited about accumulating things, and then it just doesn't show up. You know, they don't hold in the wallet would be very annoying to me. So that's the one thing that gets me on the project. Market cap is a little on the high side for me. In the, you know, scheme of things, it's not really that high of a market cap at 220 million. When you zoom out over the next couple of years, it's probably not that big of a market cap. But for me right now, that's a little bit on the high side. And the fully diluted market cap is almost 2 billion, which is way too high for me. So that means if all the coins were in circulation right now, there's only 12% that are. If all the coins were in circulation, the market cap right now would be almost $2 billion. So for me, and being a gaming coin, that market cap's too big. The one other concern is that, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think it's just a single game. I don't think it's a studio where you can, you know, where they're going to produce multiple games. I think it's just a single game. So it reminds me of like what Axie Infinity, you know, potentially was last year. And Axie Infinity did great, but the issue here nowadays is that there's a lot better games and there's a lot more of them. The gameplay has gotten far better than it was last year, and there's a lot more games out there, so the competition is going to be a lot greater than it was last cycle. So you kind of got to look at all those points and just look at the team is okay. I like GFEL's team a lot better, which is why I'm just going to stick in them and Hello Token for, you know, my top 2 gaming projects. It's a good investment. I wouldn't consider it a non-investable project. It's just, it doesn't fit my criteria as far as what I'm going to be investing in. So that kind of explains that in a nutshell. Elysium is going to be the next project we'll go take a look at. I actually do like this project a lot. Am I spelling it wrong? I can't even find the dang thing. I just had it up earlier. I can't even spell this thing. Let me figure this out. While I do that, we'll jump into the next one, Miria. Miria, also gaming, layer 2 on Ethereum. I am very bullish on Miria. I do not own any, but if I was to purchase another gaming project, Miria would be probably the project that I would actually purchase. So, it uses zero knowledge, ZK knowledge as well, which is a new technology. Very fast, very efficient, very scalable, very cheap. And the fact that it's hitting on 2 different narratives at one time, where it's an ETH layer 2, and it's also gaming, I really like. So, that being said, I can't find any games that are playable on Miria, and I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just too dumb to be able to download them. I saw some games on the website. That's a double-edged sword, though, because if you get into the project before the games are launched, you're getting in at an earlier price. But also, what if they never actually launch any games? Is the downside to that? Maybe it's just all speculation. And they never actually come out with a working product, and then you're like, well, I invested into this because of that, and then it never happens. So it's one of those double-edged swords, but Miria in general, it's a hub as well, so it's going to allow other projects to build on top of it, and it's going to collect, I would think it's going to collect a fee from those projects as far as a gas fee goes. I could be wrong on that too, but either way, the narrative is very good. Let's bring up Miria real quick. Again, market cap. I typically like to invest in projects that are under 100 million in market cap, but that wouldn't necessarily shy me away if I decided to go into another gaming project. Fully diluted market cap's only 500 million too, so that's good. It doesn't have a 21% of the supply is circulating. It doesn't have a huge fully diluted market cap. So I really like this project. I don't know yet if I'm actually going to invest into it. It's on my watch list for sure. As of right now, it's just on a watch list though. Let me know in the comments if anybody is actually, if there's a playable game on Miria or not. I'm actually interested. I might just be too... I don't really play games, so when it comes to downloading them and playing them, I'm not really that in tune with how to go about it. I tried to look for it in the Google Play Store. I didn't see any of them by searching by the names of the games that were on the website, and there's no link in the website to be able to play them either, so they might just not be out yet, and that's very common in the crypto space. So either way, very good project, excellent project. I would definitely call anybody who invested into this project or still does a smart person. Good all the way around. So let's see if I can finally figure out how to spell Alephium, because that's embarrassing that I don't know how to spell it. And okay, let's do this. There it is. I just had one letter wrong, of course. So Lithium I actually like, partly because it's proof of work and it's mineable. I have special place in my heart for those type of coins because I have a few GPU rigs that I do mine on. So I like to see when Ethereum stopped being mineable. You know, I'm sure I wasn't the only one, but anybody who had GPU rigs was very sad at that point and thought that mining was dead. Well, then kaspa popped onto the scene. It's not profitable anymore with GPU rigs, but at least mining as a whole, you know, has something to look forward to besides Bitcoin. So, Lithium is actually a really good project. I would definitely not buy it now. It is got a boner pump going on, and wow, that thing really pumped in the last few days. Holy crap. So, if you were in it early, congratulations. You're making a lot of money on this guy right here. Fully diluted market cap, way too big for me. I would not invest in it at current prices. If you got in early, like I said, congratulations. 200 million market cap, a little bit too big for me as well. Fully diluted is what really turns me away from this project, though. Only 7.1% in circulation. So, I would, you know, my personal recommendation is to probably stay away from this project at current prices. Although, let's be honest, in a bull run, everything's going to go up. It's just about, you know, how much can the coin that you're investing in go up? You know, the potential amount of X's is just lower with this fully diluted market cap. So, I would stay away. And also, I would also say that it's very similar to kaspa. Obviously, kaspa's better, but it's a proof of work layer 1. And so, just like Bitensor Tau, I'm kind of just going to funnel my money into kaspa since I already own a lot, and my potential for X's is going to be bigger. Just putting money into that project rather than starting over with a different one. So that would be my, you know, my I'm drawing a word blank here. That would be my recommendation, I guess, on a lithium. That being said, Token Metrics, if you don't know what Token Metrics is, very respectable. They do a ton of research on up-and-coming crypto projects. And if I remember correctly, Lithium was in their top 3 cryptocurrencies to invest in with 100 million or less market cap. Obviously, it's above that now, but when they came out with their video, it was under 100 million market cap. So the fact that Token Metrics is bullish on it, you know, can potentially have some effect on price. You know, might be able to move it higher than it potentially could have otherwise. But they had a list of like, you know, 50 coins. So it wasn't like it was a small list. That being said, it was towards the top of their list. So, you know, weigh that out. If you buy it now, you're still going to make money in the bull run. The potential for multipliers is just not as high as some other coins, which is why I wouldn't personally invest into it right now. So, that is just me. That being said, yeah, OFN, my prediction, it's hard to make a prediction, in my opinion, on an AI coin. And the reason for that is, there really wasn't any AI coins to kind of compare them to in last cycle. AI's kind of just started this cycle, so it's almost a wild card. I guess you may have had coins like AGIX. I'm not sure if that was around last cycle. But even then, it's hard to compare because AI didn't really have a narrative last cycle. It wasn't really a thing, you know. It was kind of like this boogeyman in the future type of thing. Like, it's going to change the world, but it's not here yet. And now it is here full force. So are we going to get... You know, AI could potentially surprise everyone in the crypto space and, you know, have multiple projects, yeah, that make it into the top 10. I have no idea. Or, you know, it could potentially die out. I don't think it's going to die out, though, because the amount of people who are using AI now, user-wise, is astronomical. So, you know, if you want, we could potentially, you know, let's go by market cap here. AGIX market cap at all-time high of last cycle was $900 million. And let me see here. Let's get a calculator out. $900. Oh, I'm sorry, that's 900. Is that 900 million or 900 billion? No, this is today's market cap. Yeah, see, this project was new. It's sitting already at all-time highs. So at the top of last bull run, it was only a one mouse 497 million market cap. So it's almost impossible to compare because all AI coins are in price discovery right now. And that's what I like to do, is compare them to coins in previous cycles, because you can get an idea of a coin that's actually done this before in a previous cycle and compare a new project to that. Whereas AI, you really can't do that. So it's anyone's guess. More money is going to be pouring in. AI is a bigger narrative this time around. I don't even have a basis to even give, you know, a price prediction at all. You know, we could compare it to today's current AGIX market cap and see what it needs to do just to get up to, you know, AGIX's current market cap. If we did that, we would take the 900 million and divide it by... Sorry, I'm slow at moving around on a computer. My girlfriend kicks me out of the seat all the time because she can't stand how long I take to just do simple things on a computer. So bear with me for 1 second here. Divided by 33 million. So that'd be a 27x just to get to AGIX's. So I mean, if you 25x'd this price, that's what you're going to get. Let's see. No, that's not right. You got to clear that first point. 5. It's 25. You're looking at $12.50 potentially. But like I said, it's anyone's guess. There's nothing to compare it to. It could go far higher than that for all we know. Even it over the last, I bought in pretty early on Open Fabric down here in the like 15 cent range. So, you know, I'm looking at almost a 3x right now, and it didn't really start moving until, you know, last week, really. So, it's nice to see, because I was holding on to it for a little while. So yeah, if you want to just take a, you know, a wild guess at you know, the OFN projection for 2025 bull run, you know, $25, or excuse me, $12, might be a safe bet. But I think it could do a lot more than that, because, you know, AGIX is sitting at this market cap, and we haven't even started the bull run yet, or the real bull run yet. We're kind of in a pre-bull run. So, you know, it's anyone's guess. We'll see what happens. But I am excited. And I'm more excited than I used to be on AI, just because of recent movement. It kind of goes in cycles, but it's intriguing. I was a little bearish on it at first, because we really didn't have anything to compare it to. No AI coins had ever made it to the top, you know, 10, 15, probably even, maybe even lower than that. And it's just hard to, you know, I like to look at, well, this narrative has done it before. This narrative's done top 10. This narrative has done top 5. This narrative has done top 3. And then say, you want to get a smaller market cap in that narrative, and you can kind of compare. But AI didn't really, you know, didn't really take off until last year. So I think, you know, the sky could be, you know, the limit for an AI coin. It's just kind of, I see the narrative, and I see the amount of people using, you know, apps on their phone with AI. I see a lot of things in my daily life that are giving me the option to use AI, which didn't have that option before. So it's being integrated in a lot of different scenarios of everyday life now. So my mind has kind of shifted on that narrative. Unfortunately, OFN is the only project in the AI sector that I am invested in right now. I wish I had a little bit more, but it is what it is. I'm not going to buy anything really right at this point in time, unless we get a pullback, because, like I said, AI has kind of just gone crazy over the last, you know, few days, even last week. So I'm going to wait for a pullback, and then I might jump into another project. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I don't want to over-diversify either, because your multipliers become smaller and smaller with smaller amounts of money in certain projects. So I like to kind of compact things as much as I can anyway. So good for you, Crypto Capstone. 3 days ago was probably a good time to buy, because that was probably right, you know, right before, when did we, I mean, at least you got it in this range around here. So at least you got to see this nice little candle here. So, congratulations on that. I would just hold on. I see this a lot, where people jump around from narrative to narrative. You know, one starts to dump and they sell it for another narrative that's pumping. And in my opinion, that's the quickest way to go broke in the crypto market, because you want to buy things during time frames where they're just going sideways for a while. If you don't want to chase green candles, I can't say it enough. I know it's harder, or easier said than done, I should say. You know, a lot of people's mindset when they start seeing things pump, they're like, oh, I'm going to catch this and I'm going to sell everything, you know, from over here. And in my opinion, that's one of the stupidest things you can do. So what I like to do is find projects that I like, find good projects that check all my boxes, and then, you know, unless some unforeseen event happens where, you know, the team's CEO leaves, or you know, the team in general just stops working on the project, or, you know, there's other narratives that could probably happen that would make me want to sell the project, I just hold on to them. Once I found a good project, just hold on to them. The bull run hasn't started yet. You know, we're looking at probably 8 more months, maybe, of accumulation. Prices might go a little higher between then and now, but I'd say roughly, you know, 8 more months of accumulation, and then we're just going to go off the Richter scale, if history is any indication. So, you know, jumping around into projects just doesn't make a lot of sense to me right now. You find a good project, you hold on to it, you have conviction in it, and, you know, ride it up, you know, and then congratulate yourself for riding it up during, you know, late 2024 and, you know, all the way through 2025. Just sit there and smile and pat yourself on the back, say, this is amazing. You know, we're all going to be making a lot of money in the next couple years. So, you know, I'll say it again, pack your damn bags before it's too late, because it is almost too late. And, you know, I can only say it so much. Other YouTubers can only say it so much. It's up to the individual to, you know, take responsibility and act on, you know, changing their life for the better, financially. So, with that, we will cut off there. Little motivational speech at the end there. I appreciate everybody for joining today. Thank you, Crypto Capstone, again for your comments. Feel free to, you know, leave comments in the video after it's done if you guys want me to look into any other projects that you like. You know, any questions you may have, and we'll talk about them on the next live stream. I'm going to be live streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays from here on out until the subscriber base gets a little bigger. So I'll make some dedicated videos, some short videos, hopefully during the Thursday to Tuesday window, and put out some shorts and stuff like that. So there will be some content. There just may not be more than 2 live streams per week right now. Maybe if I'm feeling, you know, feeling good that day or something, we'll jump on for a 3rd one, until the subscriber base grows a little bit, and then we will, you know, start doing a lot more content, a lot more live streams, and we will, you know, get better and better, like I said. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It helps out a lot. Like the video. And subscribers, first 1,000 will be entered into a raffle to win the Tangent wallet. Kaspa edition. They don't make them anymore, limited edition. And I only have one, and I'm going to give it away. So once we get up to 1,000 subscribers, we will be giving that to one of you guys. And I will see you guys in the next stream. Thank you for coming in today. I appreciate it. We'll see you guys later.